Hi everybody, Nancy here. Okay, we got a new update. So excited. Love this update. It was a long time coming, right? But we got such cool stuff. Um and so much of it he just put in the and some other stuff category that is some stuff that I really like, so I wanted to share with you guys. It's just a few things, but the first thing is that we now can explode text. And the reason I'm happy about that is that what you can do now, if I go to the next page, is see the text. This is a PDF file, and I just selected the saying. I picked a dumb one, but that's okay. Okay, so to select it, I just used the little A with the I-beam, and then did this and copied it and then pasted it, which is good. I mean, and you have lots of control over being able to change things about it. You can change words and the color of words and the position of words, but you don't have a whole lot of control over placement within the statement. So now what we can do, let me try to reduce it some. See how I just did the exact same thing I just showed you. I selected the PDF text, copied and pasted it. Now what we can do is take that text and everywhere there is a hard return, where I don't know if they still call it hard return or not. Hit return and hit return. Now everywhere that there is a hard return, if I do an explode, it's going to split that up. So first I have to select it and then go and explode. Okay, now what it has done is made it so that you got different, so if you decide you want to do something different with the text, this would be kind of hard to do as one single thing. Now, see, as I show you above, I changed the font. Now, I did line it up. I shouldn't have lined it up so perfectly. I could have done that just doing a center. What I could have done was, do this number or whatever, and again, now I can, it's still text, it's just separate text, so I can select it and change that to be bigger. I have to spread it out, and if I wanted to do it by letter, which I may want to do if I use a different font. Let's say that one. See, then if I do... Now, yes, of course, I could sit here and make each one of these letters individually, but that's a pain, I think. So that's why I'm excited about this. So if I hit a return here, it's selected. And I think I'll go ahead. Sorry, you can tell I didn't plan this. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and hit a return here so that it will be on its own. So now if I hit the explode again, select and explode. Now I've got control over where these letters go. And course, none of that makes sense to look at it that way, but if you want to control it, I click on here, it's going to take me to a website. These SVG files, see, this is what I'm talking about. When you have text like this, you can change it to look more like this by controlling each word and making it different. I'm just not as good at doing it as these people are, whoever created these files. I love the look of these. So now, because we have Explode, we have that option. We can do it easier than having to type each individual word out. All right, so that's what I love about that. And some more stuff that we now have. We can now sort by size for the documents and for the symbols. And the reason that's exciting is, notice underneath when it's sorted by size, it tells you what size each thing is. So now when you add it to your document, you know how much you're adding to it without having to check the Z all the time to see how much it added. That's what I was doing. I was always, as soon as I added a picture, I would look here to see how much this increased. Don't have to do that anymore. Now I can go back here, and if I look in this folder and reduce it down, see the different sizes. That one is 6.9 megabytes. So I just know how it's going to be affected. And see, notice that there's actually two of the same one. That's another advantage to having it. I now see that, well, heck, I put two there. Now there's something different about them because they're two different sizes. And I'm not going to, oh, I see, the little dog is there. See, that one, if I stamp it, there's a little, oh, it's a cat. But this one I don't think it has a cat. Yeah. Okay. So I love sort by size. I just have a more warm, fuzzy feeling because I know how big it is now. I was always, I just like knowing stuff, I like knowing how big a file is that I'm adding to my document. So it makes me more aware, and it's going to help me to clear out some of the duplicates that I've got. Okay, the next thing we have, time has been added to the table number thing. Let me find it. Number table cells. We now have time, so we can add the time. You could create your day with your different time breaks. Number of documents open. If you look, it's usually at the top, but I have my top toolbar down at the bottom. If you look down at the bottom right corner underneath the little thing that you can now shut down, we got this the last update because I'm constantly accidentally hitting a document at the bottom. Well, he fixed that last time. All you have to do is tap on it and it shuts it down. But if you look underneath it now tells you how many documents are open. So, because sometimes I can get a string of these things and not have a clue. So that's another new thing. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is the ability we now have to explode the pie chart. Once you've created it, you can select it and explode it. Let me show you how cool that looks. And pull it apart. Let's see, I don't know if it did it. Yeah, it did. See? I don't know why I like that look. Let me pull this one out instead. I guess because the white is confusing. I need to change that color. My palette had that white in it. But anyway, you get my point. Now what I haven't checked yet is what happens if I explode this, if I can. See, y'all get to watch me do these tests. Let's see. Explode. I feel like it's going to, yeah. See, it exploded. Each one of these lines are now separated. Everything is separate. So, not sure you'd want to do that unless you were wanting to stack things up. Like if you had a bar chart, do that. Let me select it again and do a bar chart. And do plot. I think I love that. I just need to change that white and do that bar chart, do create, and do explode. Sometimes it may not make any sense at all, but you have the ability. So now you can kind of overlap it. You know those, I can't think of the word. You know, whenever you're trying to collect money and you're tracking the height, how close you are from the top. You know, you're showing how close you are to, wow, this really did explode. It exploded all of the lines around it. So you're showing your progress. A progress tracker? I don't know. But you could somehow use a bar chart like this. You know, every week you're getting closer and closer to your goal, kind of a thing. Now, let me show you one more thing that I think is cool. Okay, now see what I have started doing because of the new table converting text. I have gone a little bit crazy with using that feature because I don't love my handwriting. Now, using it with tables, it does require you to slow down and be neater about it. But what I have done is I created a table that's just one cell. So if I click on table and see this one, I don't know if you can see it down at the bottom, there's a gray around that white box. That's just a one cell table that's filled with white. So I just like watching this happen. See, I box in my handwriting. Now imagine this in a on your document, what you ate for lunch. Okay, now watch what happens. I just love this. If I select both of those, the text and the table, and do the little text, I have it on my toolbar, but I want to try to show it to you so you see what I'm doing. Let's see. Under table, insert table text. Isn't that cool? It and now I can select both and do the little that. I just love it. Table. I keep wanting to do a shape. And what you have to make, and the reason I'm doing it this way is that you have to make sure that your text is inside the cell. If it's not, if it's at all missing, see if I do this on this one, it won't work. So if I select it, oh, I got to get rid of, let's see. And try it, do the alphabet. See, it only did certain letters. It didn't do the whole thing, so I have to undo that. Now if I move it up and now do it again. Ooh, I got little things everywhere. And do the A now. Perfect. And again, draw the table. Now you can go ahead and make a table that is big. I'll show you that in a second. So if I go ahead and do select, you have to do this in order to get the text underneath it. You can't just have the table selected. You have to have the text as well. And yes, we do have the feature. I just love that. It's so fun to watch. But again, if I undo everything now, and I can have a table that has 4 cells in it instead of doing it one at a time like that, I can go ahead and draw this one and then change it to 4 rows instead of just 1. And I'm going to take the fill off so that I can see underneath it. And I'm going to change the line opacity. So now I can see everything is inside a cell now. And I can select all of that stuff. I hope I'm not making this worse for you. And I click on the, let me see what it says again, because I can't remember what he calls it. Insert table text. That's what I'm doing, insert table text. Bam, isn't that pretty? But notice, see my T, doggone it, it was crossing the line and I didn't realize it. But so that's why you have to be careful of that. And yes, I get that we have this function, and there's always scribble. But the problem with scribble is I use my pen to move. Like if I'm on this here and I want to move up and down, I use my pen to do that. And I was putting lines everywhere, you know, where I was, instead of when I had that selected and I would move up and down, it would put a line, so I would end up having all kinds of bizarre characters in the titles. So that's why I hate scribble. Now we also have this function, convert to text, under operations, convert to text. Sorry. See, you've got this pops up, and then you have to do each word. And since I only had one, it did a good job of catching it. But usually I write so sloppy that it doesn't get it. So there, it changed it. Now that would be an easy way to do it if I were better at writing. All right. But for some reason, this table just seems smarter. It seems to recognize my handwriting a little better. But that's it. That's all I'm sure there were some other things that he added that we will all just have to discover as we go along, because I don't know everything that he changed, but I love these changes. All right. Y'all have a great day here. Bye.